Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're starting a playthrough of this absolute masterpiece. I'm a bit late to the party, but I finished my casual playthrough and now we're going for the 100% completion in this series. And I think once it's done we're going to start a Steel Soul playthrough, as well as checking out some potential randomizers in the future. I've seen that they've come out with some item randomizers, those will be really fun. But without further ado, let's get into it. It's Silksong time.
Friend.
We're in the Moss Grotto. Just got some enemies here, some little guys, little caterpillars. Take care of them, no problem. One thing this game does different from the first game, your pogo, your down slash, it's at an angle. And it takes a very long time to get used to when you are first coming from Hollow Knight. There's a secret path underneath this bridge here. That is the way forward. Now, the difficulty in this game, I'm kind of the impression that it assumes you played the first game. Because this game is significantly more difficult than the first game. I'm sure you guys have seen the discourse surrounding this game online. Bosses doing 2 health damage instead of 1 health damage. Certain big enemies just in the overworld doing the same. And that is the case. They did nerf some of the boss damage. They nerfed some of the environment damage. But it's a little bit made up by the fact that when you heal 3 health instead of 1. And you can heal in midair. This isn't going to be a speedrun by any chance, but my 100% playthrough on my Switch took approximately 72 hours, and we're going to try to avoid that taking that long. Now, just because I genuinely got lost a couple times, I got lost, and I also was just kind of like looking for places to go. Little pro tip, you can get that early. I was looking for places to go, looking for the secret paths that lead to certain areas, and I just could not find them. And so I was really just digging deep and exploring. And so that's kind of why it took so long. But yeah, this is not going to be a speedrun by any chance, any stretch of the imagination, but it will be a faster playthrough. This is not going to take 72 hours to complete, I hope. Got our first bench here in the ruined chapel. We'll sit there. Break these vines. And these vines. Alright, we got our first boss, Moss Mother. So this is a boss that does not do two damage when she hits you. But I think the stones do a significant amount of damage. But another criticism first boss down, Moss Mother down. Another criticism I have of this game, there's not many, but not every boss in the game needs to have minions. It does make it significantly more difficult. Those who know. There are certain bosses in this game that the boss fight itself is ridiculously easy. We got a shadowy figure. The boss fight itself is ridiculously easy, but it's made significantly more difficult by the addition of enemies that all seem to have an attack that do 2 damage on top of the boss doing 2 damage. So, you know, it is what it is. But so Hornet passes out here, but this this kind bug smacks us on the face to wake us up. He will not have us dying on our floor. Paths are wild and dangerous, and we get an objective. Go to the Great Citadel. You must ascend the lands of Farlim to reach the Citadel at Kingdom's Peak. We will do that. And we're coming up on our town, Bone Bottom. There's pilgrims all over the place. Rest at that bench just as a checkpoint. The currency of this game is rosaries, rosary beads. There are multiple currencies, kind of. One is bug shards, one is rosary beads. Rosary beads are really the money. The shards are kind of a resource. Flick the fixer here. Is the fixer for the town. He's gonna be building us a wish board so that we can get some quests. We get everybody's favorite NPC, Sherma, the most innocent soul in this game. Alright, we're gonna journey forward. There's a giant door block in the way, so we can't really get through. So you guys are gonna come with me on my journey of remembering the beginning of the game. Alright, we got a little fight here, I think. More flies. Big guy. Easy. I only got hit once. Alright, we open the door for Sherma. This game is loud. Hold on. Oh my god, that is loud. We're gonna lower the master volume. Why not? Alright. Sherma, good job. She opened the door all by herself, or he opened the door all by himself. Sherma's a boy, if y'all didn't know that. The great gate heard my song, and in its infinite and ancient kindness has opened the way forward for us. That is just an example of how pure and innocent Sherma is. We're gonna keep going. This game is just fucking beautiful, bro. Like, the first Hollow Knight had an amazing art style. Iconic art style. This game just takes it up a whole nother notch. Like, Team Cherry really outdid themselves with the design of these worlds and these environments and just the atmosphere. Like, this is the first area of the game that you find and it looks this incredible, you know? Later areas of the game also look similarly amazing. I think the art style is one of the most amazing things about Hollow Knight, aside from the combat. I love me some Metroidvania games. As you guys all know, you know, I have... Metroid is kind of my bread and butter as a gamer, to be honest with you. I've been playing these games my entire life. It took me way too long to give Hollow Knight a chance. to give Hollow Knight the chance it deserved, I guess, because I did give it a chance. It just didn't click with me for some reason when I first played it. But I set it down for longer than I'd care to admit. And then when I was fighting the Mantis Lords in the first game, that's when the combat really just clicked. It fell into place, and I fell in love with the game. I binged. I will admit, my first playthrough of Hollow Knight ended 2 days before Silksong came out. I got 109%. I was not going to finish the Pantheons. It's a skill issue. I will freely admit that it was a skill issue. But yeah, no, these games are incredible. We got ourselves an item here. What do we get? A shard pendant. That's our first tool. Tools in this game replace charms from the first game. Hornet is a hunter. She has an arsenal of tools. You can change your tools at the bench, just like you would change charms. Excuse me. Just wandering around, as one does in a Metroidvania game. Now, what Metroidvania means is it is a portmanteau of both Metroid and Castlevania, obviously. The formula of these games is kind of Legend of Zelda, whereas you go through different dungeons and you unlock things and you fight bosses and stuff like that. But what makes it a Metroidvania specifically, and not just like a Zelda-like or a action platformer, is that the maps are interconnected between zones. Maps are interconnected between zones, and you unlock upgrades that allow you to traverse and backtrack to previous areas to find new paths to places, to find new upgrades. That is what makes a Metroidvania a Metroidvania. I am not buying the quill. You guys are going to think that's a very stupid decision of me, but I am not purchasing the quill. The reason for that, there are 2 other quills in the game that you find much, much later in the game. And those are the quills that I want because they look different and they look cool. So I'm going to be doing that. I will purchase the Marrow map. Alright, so we got our map, and this is what we're going to be dealing with for a while. We got a bell station over here, but I'm not going to deal with that just yet. Yeah, not having sprint or a long-range skill at this point, kinda awful, won't lie to you. However, we may find something worthwhile here. Ow, you hit me in midair, you jackhole. Almost got killed by a common enemy. SMH my damn head. Just gonna go right here, get some more rosaries. We need 70 for the compass. So let's keep that number in mind. If we go back to Chakra, we can purchase a compass, and we're gonna keep that equipped. Got some traps right here. Try not to get hit by the commoners like I just did. What's this? Weaver of Farloom. By grace you warded, by thread you healed. For your favor eternal, we offer our song. A little bit of lore. Cut that. Yeah, when I played through this on my Switch, I kind of mained a different move set. So the Hunter Crest, not the easiest for me to play as at the moment, but I'm going to try to use it as much as possible this time, because it really is one of the better ones. This guy's praying to a light. Like praising the sun. Alright, we got our 79 rosaries. That means we can purchase the compass when we go back. But first, daughter of a distant land, we who remained have waited long. Bind our strength to yours. Reclaim the future of our haunted kingdom. Bind. We got our first silk skill. Silk spear. Awesome. We got a long range option, provided we have enough silk. Try not to get hit by all those spikes. Pick up this item. It's a frayed rosary string. So another thing that's unique to this game versus the first game is your money can be saved in that you can string your rosary beads into a rosary necklace and keep them in your inventory as an item instead of money, if that makes sense. So like in the Dark Souls game, instead of losing your souls, or in Elden Ring, instead of losing your runes, you keep them as an item that you can eat, basically. You can consume it and get your stuff back. So it's kind of a safe way to keep your stuff so that you don't lose it. Probably doing that a lot. I'm gonna try not to die. As we all try not to die in video games. So down there is the town. You can go over to the right so that we can explore this way. I believe there's a bench over here. I believe this bench is locked. Yep, right here. And we've got chakra underneath us. We'll open this gate. Who are you calling for, Chakra? Your voice echoes through the caverns. I came deeper into Farloom in search of my mentor, the greatest of my tribe. I could not keep pace, though, and her trail grew cold. She will have traveled much further by now, but if I keep moving and stay vigilant, I will reunite with her. Purchase the compass. Can't get the Mosslands map, but that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this bench and we're going to equip the compass. Again, menuing. Kind of difficult. So now I at least know where I am on the map. I'll give myself use of the compass since I'm not purchasing the quill yet. But we got ourselves a trapped bug here. Bell Beast. We're gonna fight the puppy. I don't remember its attacks. I think it just goes across and then it dives, yeah. This guy gave me a lot of trouble my first time playing. I won't lie to you guys. But we're gonna take care of him, no problem. Lickety split. Alright, so he's starting to do that attack. Kind of a phase transition. Right there. That's the phase transition. You gotta watch the floor with this guy. See? That's the fight that would always that's the attack that would always get me. I died. Damn. R.I.P. Well, my Steel Soul playthrough would end right there. Okay. Let's give it another shot. It's not a bad run back. Very easy run back. That's another criticism you guys may have seen of this game, is that the runbacks are outrageous, and that's just not true. However, 2 mask damage contact is kind of insane. I will agree with them there. Taking 2 damage just because you touch the boss's butt. Kind of a stupid decision. Phase 2. That's not really fair. Damn! Alright. One more try. One more try. We got it this time. Like I said, I don't really... I didn't use the Hunter Crest for most of my first playthrough. So I'm used to the Wanderer Crest attack speed and shorter attack range, which is why I keep getting into the enemy's hitbox to deal damage. See? It's not a skill issue. I'm just being an idiot. Three hits. Three more hits. Come on, Bell Beast. Fall. There we go. Let's go take care of something real quick, and we got him. Easy peasy. Bell Beast, first try. We got the Liberated achievement. Let's go. So we're inside a dream right now. child spider. There's like a heartbeat going on. Our strength. Are these the weavers talking to Hornet? Our silk. Arrived at last. What did we get? Right. Come, child, witness our waking. Consumed a silk heart. Regain the power to regenerate silk within one shell. Ooh. We get a bar of permanently regenerating silk. Let's go. Doesn't really do much for us right now, but it's helpful. Oh, the bell beast is back. Rawr. Hi, puppy. We can fast travel now. We can go back to the bone bottom and the marrow whenever we want to. Not whenever we want to, but we got the fast travel station unlocked. We got our first silk cart. We are back at bone bottom. Scared the shit out of this guy. Beast, beast, horrible beast. Wow, wow, wow. I think those are the two closest together bell stations. So now that we have some rosaries. We only have 22 rosaries, never mind. We got a couple tools here. We got a mask shard, craft metal, which is needed to make tools, a simple key, and we've got the wish board. Bone bottom repairs, we can donate 200 shards, which I do not have. We'll take berry picking. Just load up our quests. Get the lost fleas. And garb of the pilgrims. Funny story about the flea quest. If you complete it, you stop yourself from being able to fight a certain boss. So we're gonna not do that beforehand. So we got some side quests. We got the wish board. Chakra moved up here until we find her again. So yeah, that's pretty cool. She's criticizing the defense of this place. It's just a simple camp for pilgrims. But we have the option to buy any maps we missed and some pins for our map. Alright, that will wrap it up for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.